Hey folks, and welcome back to another episode of your Brains Coach podcast. My name is Angela Shurina. I'm your host, I'm your Brains Coach, and it is my job here to bring to you all the best cutting edge, most effective, most interesting, useful, and fascinating brain body tools so you can use them, take better control of your brain, of your biology, of everything that you've got, so you could feel, look, and most importantly, do your best. More and more, this podcast is going to be dedicated to toolkits for entrepreneurs, for builders. Now, you might not be a full-time entrepreneur, but if you're someone committed to changing things, not satisfied with status quo, with how things are, but wanting to improve, to change, to make things better, this podcast is for you, helping you to get more resources, to unlock full potential of yourself so you can deliver on your vision, on your mission to its full potential. So what this podcast is all about: building the builders, unstoppable entrepreneur toolkit series. But also here we are very passionate about the brain, because what we are learning more and more, how we condition our brain, how we take care of our brain, how we use our brain with different toolkits defines how we feel and act and what we end up creating in this life. That's why I'm so passionate about the brain, and I want you as well to be super passionate about this most sophisticated computer in the entire universe that your brain is. At least we don't know anything more sophisticated than that. So, brain, and today as a guest from the topic of this podcast, we are talking about mindset, specifically about mindset toolkit, that what I learned in my experience, myself personally, going through my journey of entrepreneurship for the past, how many years? 15 years? Yeah, a little bit less than 15 years. What I learned, mindset is crucial, is essential. And also while working with entrepreneurs, with business owners, I learned that they succeed or stumble in certain areas. All of us succeed or stumble in certain areas to a huge degree because of our mindset. Some aspects of our mindset are helpful to us, and it amplifies who we are and what we do. And some aspects of our mindset can be improved, can be changed, can be worked on, so we stumble less and move through different challenges in life and perhaps in our business and on our calling much faster. So today is all about improving that mindset. Now again, as I'm going through all these tools that I found to be the most useful, the most effective among all the entrepreneurs, myself including, who succeed and move faster through their challenging journey. So today you're going to get the essential toolkit that I found to be the most effective. I also read a ton of books or things like Stress Prescription or Use Good Anxiety from top researchers of neuroscience and psychologists, and I went through quite a few coaching certifications, and these are the tools proven to work across the board for people. And now it's just your job to put them to use, to regular use. And some of them you might want to use every day, like I'm going to tell you today, and some of them maybe sometime when you really need them. So mindset toolkit, how to adjust your mindset, your thinking, your framework for the world, so to speak, to get through the challenges faster and to also experience higher quality of life, no matter how challenging things get, how tough they get, so you still feel like your life is meaningful, you feel good about yourself, you're satisfied, happy, and content no matter what you're going through, and it is possible. And the one of the last books I read on the power of mindset, specifically related to stress, was by Elisa Apple. She is a neuroscience researcher, I believe also a psychology researcher. She has a PhD and came out with a book quite recently, The Stress Prescription: 7 Days to More Joy and Ease. And in the book, she gives like a whole bunch of tools that have been proven in research and practice to be very effective to make stress your ally or your unfair advantage. Like one of the concepts, for example, that I learned from the book that is very picturesque, be the lion. And the framework is all about how if we frame our stress as something that is challenged, that makes us stronger, that leads to our development, that is an opportunity to grow, to succeed, to develop something greater. If we approach stress like an opportunity, being the lion chasing the gazelle its dinner, instead of being this gazelle that is also going through a lot of stress and feeling like everything is just falling on your head and you're a victim and you have no control of what's happening. If you feel like that about stress, it can actually decrease, and it will decrease your performance, and also your whole physiology will change, and you're going to have less energy, less motivation for action. Versus if you approach it as a challenge, as a lion chasing its dinner, you're going to have more energy, more motivation, more creativity, more solution-oriented mindset and actions. So that's, one of the examples, like how mindset can actually transform your experience with stress, making you more effective versus making you less motivated, energized, and crippled by the experience. So check out the book, The Stress Prescription. Make it one of your, on your book list, because you are, especially as an entrepreneur, as a change maker, going to go through more stress because that's the life you choose. So you need to learn how to use stress as your advantage. Now, that being said, let's get to the toolkit. So step number one, this toolkit is sequential. That's something that I noticed effective to be used in a specific order, and you'll understand why, and it all will make sense. So step number one, when you wake up as an entrepreneur or just change makers, a builder, someone who is committed to defy status quo and make a difference, get back to your vision, get back to your goals, get back to clarity. Now, I made a video a few days ago on my Instagram. Check it out. Angela Brain Body Coach is my Instagram, about how clarity about your goals, about end destination, gives you 3 advantages. Number one, it activates reticular activating system in your brain that filters your world, making things relevant to your goal appear everyone, ideas and insights, and then noise, things that are irrelevant and might be time wasters, they kind of like out of your sight, out of your mind. That's what getting back to clarity to your goals does to you when you do it consistently. The second thing, the closer you feel yourself to the reward, to the end destination, by again practicing getting back and writing down and reading your goals every day, the closer you feel, and it even works in mice, but a little bit differently, obviously they're not humans. So the closer you feel to your goal, the more you visualize it, the more dopamine is released, and the more motivated and energized you feel for action. So that's what does getting back to your goals, again, writing them down, envisioning them, increasing clarity. And number three, it helps your brain to choose better strategies, more effective strategies that will help you to achieve that goal. So getting back every day to clarity, writing down, reading, visualizing your goals will help you immensely to move forward towards your goals, your vision, to create a success in a more effective way. It is very important. It works for absolutely everyone in every single field. It's been proven by all the research out there that people who get back to their goals more often, who visualize, who think about their destination more often, have more success moving towards their achievement towards and goals, right? So get back to your goals. Now, a subset of mindset tools here related to the same goal, to the same clarity aspect of it, is connecting it to something that is truly meaningful to you, to your why. Why did you wake up this morning? Why this work is important? What does it do for your life, for the world? Like, why what you do? Why is it important? When you connect your goals, your visions, your destination, whatever you're pursuing, when you connect it to your deeper why, you strengthen that motivation to pursue this goal. When you feel tired, you're gonna feel energized when you connect back to that why. Even as something as simple as health or weight loss, a fitness goal can become infused with this energy, motivation, and something so much deeper, that power almost radiating from you when you connect it to something deeper to yourself. Like, for example, a lot of my clients want to work on their health and fitness for other reasons, not for the sake of it, but for things like, I want to spend time with my family when I'm older. I want to be there to see my mission, my vision realized, and I want to enjoy it, and I want to move things forward, and I want to feel full of energy. I want to be capable. I want to change the world. I want to have different experiences. Like, people work on their health and fitness for so many reasons. Like, one of my friends, entrepreneurs, we're actually in a mastermind together. He said, Angela, when something affects me personally, like my health, for example, it doesn't matter that much to me, but when it affects my work and how I show up for my mission, vision, for my purpose, that really motivates me to change things, because I really feel the pain. So whatever that deeper why is, whatever gets you out of bed, connect to that often, and connect your goals, your pursuit, to that deeper why, to infuse it with this powerful, inspired motivation that gives you a lot of energy. So much energy that no matter how physically tired and fatigued you're still gonna keep going. So the subset again of these goals, of this clarity, connected to your deeper why. And then another subset, again related to the same goal and clarity, when you feel demotivated and things will happen and you will feel less connected to what you do, and sometimes it will feel like it pointless and meaningless. Everyone, believe me, everyone goes through that. The best minds, the best entrepreneurs, athletes, scientists, change makers, the best people out there, they go through this experience. And the only difference between them and someone who gives up is that they learn how to manage it. And so one of those tools of management that is very powerful is connecting to people who you admire for their work, who inspire you to become a better version of yourself. Those people might be in your circle, like your mastermind, your friends who do amazing things, friends who inspire you, who want you to be more of yourself and the best version of yourself you can possibly be. So your friends, again, people in your mastermind, other entrepreneurs, other change makers, your mentors. I have a couple of mentors who inspire me, who show me that big change is possible when you commit to it and you surround yourself with like-minded people who help you to realize your vision, right? Your peers, your mentors, and mentors who don't know that they're your mentors. Like, I love listening to Alex Hormozy or Russell Brunson whenever I feel a little bit lower on that creative energy that moves things forward, because they went through a lot. And when you listen to their story, they share it a lot, that they went through so many challenges, sleeping on the floor, barely making it financially, having families and spouses depend on them, going through so much discomfort, and still making it, still thinking about vision, about their purpose, about their destination, connecting that to their deeper why, still moving forward. When you listen to them, you're like, they did it. I can do that too. And in fact, I must do it if I truly care about my vision and mission. So connecting to peers, to mentors, whether, those mentors you connect personally or you just listen to them to, or read their books, doing that is such an amplifier, and it will get you through the toughest, the darkest moments. So please do make sure that you have that circle of minds, of mentors, of inspiring people that will lift you up from the darkest corner. So that's all on clarity, on goals, on why. If you didn't catch something, please re-listen to this part. The second one is all about lowering stress and pressure we often as change makers put on ourselves. And it's actually quite easy to do so. And it actually has been shown in research to work really powerfully and for everyone as long as you're a human being. Connecting to something that is bigger than yourself. And that is super simple, actually. Nature, people you love around yourself, your family, your friends, who are not work friends, but just friends whom every time you connect with them, they make you feel loved, cared for, and that there is something more to life than just work and mission. But then also exposing yourself, getting outside for walks. I personally love living by the ocean, seeing mountains, living by some park, because every day in the morning, go out there and I see nature and I spend some time in quietness and I walk and I see the world, unfiltered as it is. And it makes me realize that I'm just a tiny part of it. And there is a much bigger world. And yes, I can help with certain things, but I'm just a smaller puzzle of this big picture. And it helps me to just not feel that, not make such big of a deal of everything, and realize that life goes on and there are millions and billions of other things going on at every single moment. So me thinking about that problem in business, at work, actually not such a great thing. And it also makes me realize that, in a month from now, I won't even remember about this thing. So why spoil the day today? Why not approach every challenge with an inspired mindset? Because why not? Again, it's not a big deal. Things will change no matter what you do, and even if you do nothing, and it will pass. It shall pass. Like in Bible, I believe. I haven't read Bible actually, but it will too pass. It too shall pass, and things will change, and things will improve and give you opportunities. That's what happens in life all the time. And plus, there are other people. That's why I connected to my family, my friends every day in some way, and connected to something like, nature bigger than myself. It really helps you to release a lot of that pressure and take off these heavy bags from your shoulders and put your luggage down and just keep going lightly. And if anything, life shows us that when we move lightly through life, actually things start falling into place much easier, instead of us pushing and just stressing out about everything. Plus, it does release that pressure, that stress, that helps you perform better, that helps you to be more creative, that also helps you to show up there for other people. And remember that life isn't just about you. It's actually also about people who have difficult lives, challenges, struggles, and things that are not perfect, things that are stressing them out. There are so many other things, maybe not more important than yourself, because each of us is important for ourselves, but just, there are other things. There is a whole other life and world out there. So connect with something bigger than yourself. Connect with your loved ones, not to talk about work, but to just be alive. And that will help you to release stress, to release pressure, be more creative. And long term, it will help you get going instead of feeling again like there is so much pressure you cannot possibly endure and take it all on. So connect to something bigger than yourself. Nature is the easiest way. And then connect to people you love outside of your work and understand there are other people, there are other things besides work, and you are not just your work. So this was number 2, connecting to something bigger than yourself and realizing that there is a whole other life out there, and it's not just about this specific challenge problem or even your bigger vision and mission. The life will go on. Remember that. Sometimes feeling small actually helps you to do bigger things. Number 3, this is a confidence, motivation, energy booster that as entrepreneur, as change maker, you need for sure. Every single day, actually. Confidence. How do you boost confidence instantly? It's actually not that complicated. Confidence is a feeling of you being successful, of accomplishing, of finishing things. And with the confidence, if you want to have it daily, you gotta have something that you do daily that gives you that sense of accomplishing, of finishing things, of being capable of moving things forward, of making progress. And that's why it's so important. And again, I notice it in my life, and that's why I go to the gym, and that's why I pose in front of mirrors for my progress, and I measure sometimes, my weight and body fat or my strengths with like different machines and weights. I do that because it shows me that I put in the work and I get progress, and I see the progress because I show up consistently no matter how hard it gets. And there are many hard days in the life of change maker entrepreneur, probably in the life of everyone. Again, back to the idea that you're not alone, there are other people, we're all going through things, right? But this thing that is almost totally in my control, which I show up every single day for, where I see progress when I put in the work, that allows you to get that sense of progress, of accomplishment, of being capable, without, again, having a lot of other things influencing that progress. And when you see, again, that accomplishment, that progress, that transfers that feeling of confidence, of ability to all the other areas of your life where you have less control and might not see the results, the big wins or any wins every single day. That transfers into feeling powerful while pursuing your vision, your mission, your goal, especially when you don't see the progress daily and you're going through challenging moment. And I was listening to another friend of mine, entrepreneur, back in New York, and he made this video about how for a lot of entrepreneurs, most of our lives are actually in the hard work where you don't see a lot of results. And it's more like groundwork, laying the foundation that none other people in the world see. But you have to do it in order to even have a chance to create something of value, something that you can call a success. And so most of our lives as entrepreneurs, as change makers, are spent in that shadow, the work that nobody will ever see. But it's a necessary work to get to that thing that the world will see and appreciate. And so he mentioned that, and that's when I also realized how crucial those other activities, sometimes hobbies. A lot of my clients are into crafts like woodwork. I work with a lot of guys, with a lot of men, and they have, this different like woodwork, and they work on some house projects, renovations, or again, something to do with their hands. It's so very crucial and important because every day you see the progress, you see your ability to change things. And that is a very powerful feeling that gives you confidence to pursue things, to work on things in other areas of your life, like your business, where again, you might not see wins or noticeable progress every single day, and you're just laying the foundation. And then you get the win, and then back to laying the foundation. That's how it works for most entrepreneurs. For the majority of their life, you're always like in the work that, again, for the rest of the world might mean nothing. So that's why it's important to have that something like, again, gym, doing something with your hands. Maybe you are into cooking, and every day. And that's why I also love cooking my meals, at least one meal a day, because it gives me this feeling of accomplishment. I put in the work and I created this value that will nourish my life. So have something that is outside of your work, something that gives you this sense of progress, ability, accomplishment every single day, because then you will release powerful neurochemistry, your serotonin and your dopamine, that will give you a boost of confidence, energy, and motivation that then you can use in your work. So I hope this makes sense. Also, to the same idea of boosting your confidence, motivation, and energy. A lot of entrepreneurs, we don't necessarily the greatest at celebrating small wins. We are so into chasing the big things that we don't stop and celebrate small things that we accomplish every day. Like if you schedule 50 outreach to be, cold contacts, and you do that, and you maybe do even more. Like that's my situation for right now, that I do a lot of cold outreach. And sometimes you see the results, you definitely see progress, you see new contacts, and you get new ideas, you get connected to new people in your networks that later you will end up working with. So you definitely see progress, but sometimes you just reach out and you don't see a lot of progress. But the fact that you showed up and you delivered on what you planned and even over-delivered, celebrate that. That's you being consistent, that you showing up no matter how hard it gets and how unrewarding that is, that you showing up and showing that you are capable, able, and ready to do the work necessary to make progress. Celebrate the doing part. That's why it's also, when I do cold outreach, and for example, I decide to outreach to 100 people, I put those, every person as a stick, and then I cross them, because that gives it a more of a sense of accomplishment. It makes it more physical. And then at the end of the day, in my journal, in my planner, I see those sticks, and I see also all these messages or emails, etc., that I sent out to people. And this is an accomplishment. That is something that I created that will ripple out and will create change later. So celebrate those wins. And at the end of the day, when you look at your contact list and you're like, I reach out to 100 freaking people. Isn't that amazing? It's work that you put in. So celebrate small accomplishment. And also that's from Dan Sullivan, the co-founder of one of the biggest and most profound business coaching companies for entrepreneurs. He has this book, Gain and the Gap and the Concept. And so what he noticed and what he advises the entrepreneurs he works with, always focus on the gain. And that's when I work with entrepreneurs on their mindset, I also help them to implement that into their conversation in their heads. Focus on the gain, on things that you moved forward, on things that you made progress on, not just on where you have to go and what's yet to be done and where you still haven't achieved the things that you said you would achieve. Don't focus on the gap, because that actually doesn't give you energy and motivation. It gives you frustration. It makes you want to give up. And who benefits from you feeling like you want to give up? What kind of actions are you going to take? What kind of progress are you going to make? Who benefits from that? Like nobody. So that's why pump yourself up with the gain, feeling accomplished, feeling motivating, feeling energized, feeling capable, and go get after that thing. And don't you think you're going to be more likely to get after it, feeling motivated, energized, and powerful, empowered with all the things that you did in the past? Don't you think you're going to do more and better? Exactly. So focus on the gain, on things you did, you accomplished, you showed up for. That will give you energy, and celebrate small wins as you go. And then have something outside of work that give you this progress, accomplishment that is in your control, like cooking meals or working out or doing some crafts, some woodwork, whatever makes it for you. Show up for it daily, even if it's as small as 30, 20 minutes, but show up, deliver the result, get that progress, get that ability and confidence, fuel it into your work and then focus on the gain there, celebrate small wins, and you're going to feel empowered every single day. And that is a very strong, very just powerful place to be, from where you can achieve big things. Nobody achieved great things feeling powerless and demotivated. So why would you do that to yourself? And the last, but definitely not least, step number 4, and that usually do at the end of your day, so you could fall asleep peacefully and feeling good about the day that that you just went through. Number 4, finish your day in whichever form you like. Journaling obviously is more powerful, but sometimes, I can totally relate. You go through your day and you're kind of tired and exhausted and you're like, I don't want to be writing down anything now. So what you do before closing your eyes, you think about 3 things you're grateful for. I recommend thinking about things that happen in your day that might have gone wrong, but they went right. The 3 things that went right. Like the person who connected you, who is a great customer, future customer. The call went better than expected and you closed the sale, except you thought you were doing networking, but then you closed the sale, right? And sometimes just be grateful for smaller things. Sometimes the day doesn't go as planned at all, but you still make it. Things still work out, even if completely not planned and not as good or just not as you planned. Having a good meal, having a great conversation, that's why, again, connect to your peers, having a great walk, like 3 things, whatever it is that made you smile, made you feel like the day is beautiful, just something cool and simple and light and bright in your day. Think about those 3 things in your day. There are always things that you can be grateful for. Like your parents, if they're alive, if they are healthy, be grateful for that. They are awesome human beings that gave you life and all the opportunities, and you can connect to them. Isn't that like really amazing that you still have them, your friends, your loved ones? Like there are so many things, again, you can be grateful for. So think about that. And then my personal add-on that I recommend to all of my inspiring and aspiring entrepreneurs who want to do big things. The day might sometimes feel heavy and challenging, especially at the end of the day. It just does when you try to push things forward all the time. But still, at the end of the day, there is something, and I usually go for 3 things that you are very excited about in your future. Maybe that big talk or panel that you are about to moderate that are upcoming. Maybe just the next stage in your vision, or maybe just where the next couple of months could take you in your business, and things and tasks that you are about to try, people you're about to meet, events you're about to go. Ideally something you're excited about the next day, so you wake up feeling excited and motivated, energized. But also in your life, what things are you excited about in the future? Just think about 3 things. And all of a sudden, you might even feel energized. You're like, oh my God, I just want to get up and do things. So don't do that, you need to sleep. But yeah, 3 things you're grateful for and 3 things you're excited about to experience and make happen in your life. And here you go. It's your full change maker, builder mindset toolkit that it's actually can be done very fast. Connected to your goals might take like 5 minutes. Connected to to people in your life, to something bigger than yourself, might be a 10-minute walk in the afternoon or morning, even better. Confidence, it might be cooking your meal. Also celebrating small successes as you go and just reframing things, focusing more on what you've accomplished and done. Those are very small things. They take no time, but give you so much in terms of confidence, energy, motivation, feeling inspired, feeling empowered, These are the big rocks, actually. When you infuse your day with them every single day, there is very little that you will not be able to accomplish in your lifetime. And, Bill Gates likes to say, we overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in 10 years. When you have this kind of state conditioned by the practices that you learned today, when you have this kind of empowered state every day, there is very little that you cannot accomplish. Most probably, you will over-accomplish all of your wildest dreams. You have your dreams for a reason. Your brain knows what you can accomplish. Your brain knows what your true potential is. Your soul knows what you're destined here to do, why you were brought up into this world. You are a piece of a puzzle, of a bigger picture. Nothing in life, if you know anything about life, nothing in life is random. It's all a part of the process, as you also are. So this mindset toolkit will help you to get into the best state, no matter what your situation is, every single day. And in that state, there is nothing that's impossible. Hope you found this useful, folks. Don't forget, please, if you found it useful, if you find it useful, please do share a screenshot, tag me in whichever way you can share. Please do share. This means a lot to this podcast. We all need to build more builders, change makers who defy the status quo, so we all change the world faster and better and create a more beautiful world for all of us, where we all thrive and excel. So please do share. Please help me to spread these toolkits and the right kind of mindset. And also, just like it helps you, it will help someone else. So please help me to do that. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned on Friday for the lifestyle toolkit of a change maker. So stay tuned for that. Share. And till next time, have an awesome day and stay empowered. Now you have all the tools.